guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing another round of declutter, and as promised we are going to be doing all of my face palettes today. This is my whole collection. I do obviously have quite a bit, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into it. Before we get started, real quick, I wanted to let you guys know my daughter Lexi is homesick and she is on the bed literally right here next to me, so you might hear her breathing, and she's got kind of a stuffy nose. She's kind of loud right now, so that is the noise if you hear it, okay? But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna start in this corner here. These three palettes were in my everyday makeup drawer, so I'll start with those. So first of all, I have this little blush trio from Anastasia. This is in the shade Pool Party, and I have been using this quite a bit in my rotation. I just put it into my last Shop My Stash. I really love these two and I use them constantly. The one in the middle I haven't been using as much, but I feel like it's just kind of a pink with some glitter in there. I feel like that's something I'll use a little bit more once we get closer to summer. Oh, I'm gonna zoom you guys in a bit because I got some complaints last time that I was too far out. So let's zoom you guys in. Wanted you to see everything, but now we can get closer. I feel like I'll use this more in this summertime. So I do really like this. I like the formula quite a bit, so I will be hanging on to that. Next, I have this highlighting palette, and this is from Laura Mercier. They call it the Face Illuminating Collection. It has 4 highlights in here. I think all of them are stunning. I use these two probably the most, but I definitely still use these two. They're just a little deeper, but I can use them as blush toppers, or in the summertime, sometimes I can get away with that one. But either way, I love the formula. I really love this palette, and I'm definitely keeping that. All right, next I have this Morphe blush palette, and this is the Warm palette, I think is what they call it, Warm Master Palette. It has 8 blushes in here. So the formula of this, I'm still kind of testing it because I haven't had it that long. I got it in PR last month. And the shades that I've used the most are definitely the top row here. I have used this one as well, but what I find from these is that they're a little bit powdery and they just don't last as long on the skin. The only thing is I'm just not ready to declutter it yet because I still haven't even used every shade in here, and I'm still kind of testing it a bit. So I'm not ready to let go of it, but I'm leaning towards like maybe this might not last long term in my collection, but at this point I'm just not ready to let go of it. I really still need to try every shade. I haven't used any of these 3 shades yet. So I'm definitely going to hang on to this for now. This might be something that ends up getting decluttered in the future, but just not ready to do it quite. All right, let's move on to the rest of this. This is going to be hard, you guys. I have to be honest. Whenever I'm setting up for a declutter like this, as I'm laying everything out, you kind of like lay it out and think about it at that moment. You're like, oh, can I let this go? Can I let this go? And there wasn't anything that jumped out at me right away as I was setting up, like, oh, I can definitely let go of that, which I usually have at least a few things that I'm like, oh, this will be an easy declutter. So I'm a little worried about how this declutter is going to go. Yeah, but anyway, let's just do it. So I'm not going to promise big numbers on this, you guys. I'm just not. But by the way, I have actually mentioned that in a recent video. Last year's declutter for me was my huge declutter. So at this point, most of the things that are in my collection that survived that last round are things that I absolutely love. Some of the newer items I might be able to let go of, but that's kind of most of the things that made it through that last round are here for a reason. But anyway, so next I have this little duo from Dose. This I just got in PR. I actually haven't even tried it out yet. It's sitting in my new makeup drawer waiting for my next Shop My Stash, which I'm actually filming directly after this video, so this will be probably pulled in at that point. So definitely need to keep that. Haven't tested it. Next I have this little palette from Smashbox. This actually came in a 500 point perk. It's a little contouring palette, and I think I decluttered everything else that came in that 500 point perk, but this little palette is so good. The formula on this is just amazing. I really, really love it. I use every single shade in here. All 3 of them work fine on my skin tone. This is the more cooler or neutral undertone bronzer for sure, and this one's a little warmer, but they both work for me. They're not too deep, so I really love this little palette. I bring it a lot when I travel because it's so compact, so definitely keeping that. Okay, next we have this little e.l.f. Contouring palette. Now this, I did keep, if I can get it open. Sorry, my camera just died. I don't know where I left off, but I was talking about this e.l.f. contour palette. So I actually really like the formula of this palette. It's really, really nice. And I think this, I'm looking around, I think this is my only drugstore face palette that I currently own. I think I decluttered a lot of them last time. Yeah, I don't see one other drugstore face palette. So I do actually really want to keep this in my collection. I like doing all drugstore videos here and there. In fact, I actually have been planning to do another one soon. So I do want to keep this because it is just a really good little palette. All right, next up I have my Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. This is a very beautiful little contour and highlight. The only thing, and I have said this before on my channel, the only thing about this palette is I do feel like it's overpriced for the quality. I think that you can get drugstore dupes for this, but I have already spent my money on it, so I do want to keep it. I think I actually might end up pulling this into a project so that I can just use it up. I might do that because I think I could use it up pretty quickly if I started using it a little bit more frequently, but I am going to keep it because, like I said, I spent my money, so I'll be saving that guy. All right, I do have a couple limited edition palettes here next. This one here is the Bonk Disable from NARS. This is a little highlighting trio. I mentioned this many times when it first came out, how it was one of my favorites. Even though it is limited edition, I'm not someone who's going to get rid of limited edition. I might not show it on my channel as much once it's no longer available in store, but I definitely will keep it and continue to use it. And I think this one is stunning. Like, I just really love the formula. I love these two colors in particular. I really love, but this works as a blush on me, like a really shimmery blush. But I just think it's a really fantastic little palette. I will link whatever I can find available down below for you guys. If I can find this somewhere, I will link it for you, but I think it is discontinued now. NARS is always coming out with limited edition face palettes though, and the quality on them are really good. So if you're looking for something similar to this, just keep an eye on NARS because they're always coming out with these types of things. And then I have this little Becca limited edition blush trio, and this is called the Blushed with Light. This came out for the holidays, I want to say a couple years ago. It might have been a couple years ago. It has 3 blushes in here. They're all very beautiful blushes. I think some of these are limited to this palette. So there's Wisteria, Songbird, and Snapdragon. Snapdragon is available. This one here, that one's available still, but these 2 were limited to this palette. I want to say I only have one single Becca blush, maybe 2. I think I have one full size and one mini, and that's it. And I really do love the formula. I've always wanted more of them. I just never needed them, so I never invested in more. But yeah, I do want to keep this because I do really love all 3 of those blushes. Okay guys, I'm really not doing well so far. All right, next I have this little blush kit from Anastasia, and this is in the shade Radiant, and it does have 4 different blushes in here. The formula is just so good on these, honestly. I really do like the formula. Oh, those colors. Yeah, I feel like this is something I would like to keep. I haven't owned it very long. I feel like I got it within the last year for sure, and I found it at TJ Maxx, I believe, but I do want to keep that. I really do like it. All right, you guys. Next up, I am sorry if this is boring to watch. I might title this one Face Palette Collection Video instead of Declutter, but let's see if I can get rid of anything. Next, I have this little Clinique Get Cheeky palette. You guys know I'm not going to be able to let go of this. I love the formula of these little blushes, and this has 3 of them in there. It was such a fantastic deal. This one's not available anymore, but they just came out with a new palette, which I think actually has like a highlighter and 2 blushes. I can't remember, but I'll link that one down below. But it's just such a good value, these little palettes, because you get basically 3 of their blushes for only a couple dollars more than 1. So it was a really good deal, and I really like it. I like traveling with it, so I'm keeping that. All right, next up, this is from Wander Beauty. This is actually fairly new. It's the Wanderess palette. This came in a BoxyCharm, and honestly, I actually had this on my wish list. Like, it was something I wanted to buy previous to getting it in that BoxyCharm, but once I had it, I just never reached for this. This was in my like my everyday makeup drawer for, I want to say, 2 different rotations, so for a couple months, and I barely ever used it. I think that they're really beautiful. I actually really love every single one of these. My problem with them is that the pans are so small for a big face brush that I just find it inconvenient to use, and I never reached for it, so I am going to go ahead and declutter this one. Woohoo! Broke the ice on decluttering. Okay, next I have this little Bare Minerals face palette. Now this one is interesting. It's kind of different. Inside you get 2 powders. This is just a translucent setting powder, and then this side is a translucent powder that has a little bit of shimmer to it. I actually really like it. My problem is I just don't ever think of grabbing a palette to set my face with, so I never use it. So for that reason, I am gonna go ahead and let go of it, even though I think it's nice, I just don't use it enough. Okay, next I have two of these Kevyn Aucoin powders. This one here is the Neo Highlighter, and this is the Neo Limelight. So they're a little different. This one is in the shade Sahara. Let me open that guy up. These are really beautiful. They've got like that ombre kind of thing going on. And this is in the shade Ibiza. Look at that one. Oh, I love these so much. I really like the formula, like you can hear me talking about it. I really like the formula. I love the fact that it has this kind of ombre effect, so you can really change the way that the powder looks and the highlight looks depending on where you place your brush. So I really do like that about both of these. I think I can let go of this one, this Neo Highlighter in Sahara. It's just not as unique. I feel like this one is very unique with that kind of like pink to purple ombre, and it's something that I really enjoy using. But this Sahara one, even though it's nice, I do have a lot of other highlighters that I feel like look a little bit better on my skin than this one, so I'll let go of that. Next, you guys already know this is not going anywhere either. This is from Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette. I just got this last holiday season. Not this last one actually, the one before. This is so beautiful. It's got a combination of highlighters, blushes, and bronzers in here, and I just really love the formula. This is the only holiday Hourglass palette that I have in my collection, and I just really enjoy it. So yeah, this is definitely not going anywhere. Definitely hanging on to that guy. All right, another palette that I have talked to death about. This is from Lancome. It's the Starlight Sparkle Highlighter Palette. This says it's limited edition. I believe last time I checked it was still available, so if it is, I'll link it, of course. I really love all three shades, but this one is probably my least favorite because it's a little bit chunky glitter. The other two are more of a metallic, like foiled kind of look. Hopefully you guys can see those swatches. So hard to do swatches on highlights, but the formula on these Lancome highlights is just incredible. I don't know why it doesn't get talked about more. I think they are so beautiful. I do have a full-size one of these formula as well, and I just think they're really great, so definitely keeping that guy. All right, next up I have this Tarte palette. This was also limited edition. This was holiday, I want to say a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. This was the Bling It On palette, and it's got all these blushes in it. So these are the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush formula. I don't like the individual blushes from Tarte. I feel like those ones, for some reason, the formula is a little different than these. Those ones are a little harder, and they get hard pan on them so fast, and it's hard to pick up any pigment from those. But for some reason, these ones just are a little bit better. They're a little softer, a little bit more pigmented, easier to use, and I do really, really love this. So I am gonna keep that guy. All right, next we have another NARS limited edition palette. This is the Hot Tryst palette. This sold out so fast, you guys. When I picked this up, I only had it like a couple weeks, and I started talking about it on my channel, and everyone's like, it's sold out, and I went and looked, and sure enough it was. And I can't get it open. Here we go. So I haven't talked much about it because it was like immediately not available. However, I love this. That pan's a little loose. I love this so, so much. It has a couple highlighters, and then the rest are blushes, but look at that. It's just stunning. It's so good. Like I mentioned already with the other NARS palette, I love the formula of their cheek products. So whenever they come out with a limited edition cheek palette, whether it's blush, highlight, whatever, I always look at it and I don't always pick it up, but I really do love the ones that I own. So this one I'm definitely keeping, just like the other one. Next, I have my Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette, and I love this palette. I think it's really good, but I've had it a long time, and I actually surprisingly am ready to let go of it. I just don't reach for it enough anymore, and I think it's really good, but I have other ones, so I think I actually am gonna go ahead and let go of this. Next, I have a little Natasha Denona Blush and Glow Duo. There we go, that's a tongue twister. This I just got not too long ago, and I really have been enjoying it, so I am going to hang on to that guy. All right, I have another NARS limited edition. This is my last one, don't worry guys. This is the last one of the 3 that I have for face palettes. This is the Stephen Klein palette. My ex-husband bought this for me for a Christmas present a few years ago. It's really beautiful, but I think I'm gonna let go of it. Just has some memories with it that I think it's time to let go of. So I will go ahead and be decluttering that guy. That was hard. Okay, next I have my Pure Contour Diaries. Because I got rid of my Kat Von D one, I'm keeping this one. They're very similar. I didn't need both, but I got rid of the Kat Von D, so I feel okay about keeping this one from Pure Cosmetics. All right, I have a couple of the Anastasia Glow Kits. This one here is my favorite, the Sugar Glow Kit. I love this one. For my skin tone, this is like the most perfect highlighting kit. Every single highlighter in here works great on me, and I love the formula. So that is definitely staying. And the other one that I have is the Nicole Guerrero one. This was obviously limited edition quite a while ago, I want to say. I do like some of the ones in here and I don't like some of the other ones. So I think it was, I can't remember off the top of my head. I know this one I don't like and I don't remember the other one, but a couple of them are very chunky glitter that fall out really bad, but some of them, like this one here, are really nice. So this is something you can't get anymore, and for that reason I do want to keep it, at least for now, because I do like some of the shades in here quite a bit. Okay, whew, all right, we're getting down to the last row. All right, for the last row, I have my Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette. I love this one quite a bit. I have the matte bronzer in here. I do have the shimmer bronzer in a full size, but I don't own the matte in a full size anymore. I had it and I used it all up. And then it has a blush and highlight, and I think the formula and color of all of those are gorgeous, so I'm keeping that. And then I have the Kevyn Aucoin. This is called the Contour Book Volume 2. I had the Volume 1, ended up decluttering that one, but this one I really, really love. I think it's very, very nice. It has some eyeshadows in here as well, some cheek products, so I put it in the cheek category, even though it's kind of half and half. So anyway, I love it, definitely keeping that. Next, I have this palette from Ofra. This is the Glow Up palette. Look how pretty this is. This has 4 different highlighters in there. I honestly haven't used this a lot. I got it, I want to say a few months ago, and had it in like one Shop My Stash rotation, and then haven't really pulled it in since. So this is something I should pull out again because I actually really do like it. The formula on Ofra highlighters, if you've never tried them, they're very intense, but very gorgeous, like just stunning. And I like an intense highlighter, so I don't mind that. So definitely want to keep that. All right, and then I have this MAC blush palette. This is a customizable palette. I picked out every single shade of these myself, and I love them. I think they're beautiful. The formula is very, very nice. I don't remember the names of all the shades, and I tried prying them up out of here because these pans are just like magnetic, but once you put them in, it's like impossible to get them out without, you can see I broke a couple trying to get them out. So I don't remember all the shades, but I do really love this and I am keeping that. All right, the last palette in my face palette collection is this one here from Pure Cosmetics. It's the 4-in-1 Blush Book. This is what it looks like inside. It's actually really, really pretty. It's got kind of like a mosaic look to it. And these are very unique blushes. Honestly, a couple of these, like these 3 here in particular, I feel like I don't really have anything similar in color to in my collection. But they're very intense. Like, look at this. Do you see that swatch right there? Like, I barely stuck my finger in it. Like, they're really, really intense. You know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this into my next Shop My Stash and test it out and see if I really use it enough. If I don't, I'll declutter it at that point. So it'll be kind of like a maybe. So this will be kind of a maybe. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull that into my next Shop My Stash and give it like one last final test before I'm ready to get rid of it. Because it's been a while since I've used this and I can't remember, but I know looking at the colors, I think they're very unique, but actually touching them and swatching them, I'm just not sure if I will go ahead and do that. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do with this. This will be my maybe. So for now, these are the 5 face palettes working their way out of my collection. I feel really good about that because honestly, it's very hard for me to let go of face palettes. I really do enjoy them and I use them. So I feel good that I was able to work these out of my collection. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this declutter video today. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm not even halfway through doing my declutter for this year. I think next I might be moving on to lip products. I believe that's what I want to do next. I'm not sure, but definitely have a lot more decluttering to do, so stick around for that. I hope you guys have a fantastic day and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.